So I have a good friend of mine who lives in Alaska. Invited me to go moose hunting.
Moose hunting.
Right. So the first day, first morning, I shot this gigantic moose, which was like top 50 biggest ever killed with a bow or whatever, right? So a couple days go by, and really, really great, cool place. We're in the middle of nowhere. It took like 5 planes to get ready to go.
5?
Yeah, really? We're staying in this little trappers cabin from like 1940 Eskimos thing. So we had 2 boats. And one boat would go up the river like 6 miles and float down and we'd call the moose, and the other boat would start at the cabin and drift down the river and then drive back up. The river's like that deep. So one morning I said, Bruce, I said, would you mind if I was done hunting and all, I said, would you mind if I took one of the boats, and instead of going 7 miles, I want to go like 15 miles up the river. Just want to like drift down and just look at the wildlife. And he's like, yeah, I got an extra tag too. If you see another big moose, shoot it. Okay, cool. So I cruise up there, and it's like 30 degrees, it's cold, in the morning. Cruise all the way up there, man, I'm coming down, I'm just drifting down, use your paddles to keep you in the middle of the river. Call them once in a while, I'm like, God, man, this is like paradise up here, you don't see nobody, you're in the middle of nowhere. Like, come around this one bend, they call them gravel bars, I call them sandbars. Gravel bars.
Whoever,
dude,
right? Yeah.
This dude is out on the gravel bar, he's got the straggly hair, he's like, yow! Yeah, right? Now the river is is wide, like almost like a little bit wider than this room, and it's real slow. You're moving like 1 mile an hour. So you have oars, right? So I'm like, what the fuck? Right? I got my bow. That's all I got, right? He's like, yow, come here. I'm like, okay, relax. Now, you say come here up there, it echoes forever because there's nothing there. So I paddle my way over, and a couple pals. I come up and I grab my boat. He pulls it up. He said, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? I'm like, I'm hunting. I'm like, where did you come from? He's like, I stay in that little cabin. And it was one just like we had. I could barely see the little roof. I'm like, wow, cool. He goes, you want to come up? I'm like, I got some hot coffee. And I'm like, I'm going to tell you what, I said, I'm a little chilly. I said, yeah, all right. I'm like, what can the guy do, right? I mean, it wasn't no bigger than me or anything, right? So I didn't bring my bow. I left it in the boat. So anyway, I cruise up. I go in, and he's like, he had a fire going on. He's like, man, I don't ever get to see anybody, man. He's like, it's so cool that you're here. And I'm like, yeah, cool, he is where I was from and everything, right? So I told him we were, downstream about another 7, 8 miles or whatever. I don't know how far I went, but something like that. So he pours me a cup of coffee. I take the cream, I put the cream, and I go to get some sugar. I take like 1 scoop of sugar. He goes, yow. I go, what? He goes, that's all the sugar I get for the whole year. He goes, I only get 1 drop a year. He goes, take it easy. I'm like, okay, forget it. I don't have any sugar. So I stir my coffee. He goes, hey, man. He goes, I got to tell you, this is cool shit you're here. He goes, you want to come to a party? I'm like, where? He goes, here. I go, when? He goes, tonight. I go, party? He goes, yeah. I go, rocking parties, man. I go, yeah, I guess so. Come to a party. He goes, we do a lot of drinking. We do a lot of drinking. I said, well, I'm not that much of a drinker. I said, but, I said, whatever, I'll drink a couple beers or a couple,
Get banged up.
Yeah, get banged up, right? So he goes, we do a lot of fighting. I said, what do you mean? You guys drinking and you fighting? He goes, yeah, man, we do a lot of fighting here. I'm like, I'm not much of a fighter. I said, but I guess I could throw a couple punches or something, whatever. He goes, well, I'll tell you, we do a lot of fucking. So I'm like, whoa, dude. Like, this is getting out of control here. He goes, no, I'm serious. He goes, we do a lot of fucking here. So I'm like, so you let me get this straight. You drink, you fight, and you fuck. And he goes, yeah, this fuck gets wild. I go, who's all coming to this party? He goes, just me and you.